Well, hello, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to the Ezra File here on YouTube and also on Facebook as well. Now, those of you who are long-term watchers of the Ezra File will know that one of the subjects that we've covered in a few of the videos, you can if you go to Facebook, they're down there somewhere, the Ezra File on Facebook page. If you go down there, you'll find there's been 2 or 3 videos over the years that have dealt with the subject of the modern state of Israel. We've looked at the modern state of Israel. We've looked at its right to exist as a Jewish state. We've looked at the historical claim that the Jews can make on that piece of land as a Jewish state. And we've seen that claim, the Jewish claim on the land, the claim for Israel as a Jewish state, stretches all the way back to the Old Testament. We've seen that goes all the way back indeed to the very first book of the Bible, to the book of Genesis, and the stories about Abraham and his journeys. Abraham, of course, is the founding father of the Jewish race and the Jewish religion. And we've seen on a number of occasions that you can date Abraham to round about 2000 BC, so that there have been Jews in that part of the world for some 4,000 years. And we've also seen that claim extends onwards into the New Testament, into the historical books, the books of 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, 1 Kings and 2 Kings. Those books tell the story of the establishment of Israel as a sovereign, independent country with its capital as Jerusalem. And even today, that claim stands unique. There is no other, the only independent nation state that has ever existed in that part of the world with Jerusalem as its capital is, of course, Israel. So we've looked at the secure historical claim for Israel, the modern state of Israel as a Jewish state. And the reason why we've done that, of course, is because of a modern form of anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism, the oldest hatred, and if you want to look at, there's a video down there called The Oldest Hatred. It is the oldest hatred. It's been around for centuries, but it's changed over time. If you go back to the medieval period, Jews were persecuted because they were the wrong religion. You go back to, sadly, the 1930s and 40s, Jews were persecuted, and indeed they were to be exterminated because they were the wrong race. Well, now anti-Semitism is focusing on the modern state of Israel. They attempt to delegitimize, to undermine the modern state of Israel as a Jewish state. So that's why we've looked at the whole issue. And the reason why I'm looking at it again in this video is because I found something. I was reading the paper this morning, and I found something that interested me greatly. When I say reading the paper, nobody reads the paper anymore, do they? They look at it on their mobile phones or wherever you get subscription-wise. But anyway, I don't know whether you can see that or not. It's taken from the Daily Telegraph. London Daily Telegraph, and it's a picture of Donald Trump with 2 Arab leaders and the Prime Minister of Israel signing some peace treaties. And I'll read you the headline. It says, Trump hails new dawn in Middle East as Israel, the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain sign diplomatic deal at the White House. That 2 Arab states, 2 Gulf Arab states, Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates, have signed a historic peace deal, a historic treaty with the state of Israel. Now, they are, of course, not the first Arab countries to do that. You might remember back in the 1970s, Egypt was the first, and back in the 1990s, Jordan did something similar. But these are 2 new countries who have signed this peace treaty. They recognize one another's sovereignty. So the Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates recognize Israel's sovereignty as a Jewish nation, their right to exist. They recognize they begin diplomatic relations, and they open the way for trade between their countries. So this is a truly historic moment in the Middle East. It takes peace process to a new level. I've lost count of the number of times I've prayed for peace in the Middle East over the years. So it's wonderful to see this kind of thing happening today. And I'd like to read to you just a quote from the article. It's a quote from Donald Trump. Donald Trump says this: they, that's Israel, Bahrain, and United Arab Emirates, they are choosing a future in which Arabs and Israelis, Muslims, Jews, and Christians can live together, pray together, and dream together in harmony. This is an incredible day for the world. And if you've prayed for peace in the Middle East, if you've prayed for peace between Arab and Jew, between Muslim, Jew, and Christian, then we should wholeheartedly, and the Ezra file wholeheartedly welcomes the signing of these peace treaties, these diplomatic agreements. And they've been given the name the Abraham Accords, because Abraham, of course, is recognized as significant by Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So we must pray that this initiative carries on, and whatever the result of the coming American presidential election, we must pray and must continue to pray that peace would come to the Middle East, that Israel's right to exist would be recognized, and that the benefits of peace would be grasped by all parties in the Middle East. And if that happens, if this goes forwards, then we here on the Ezra file will let you know as and when things happen. So until next time, be seeing you.